Hi everyone, this is Joy here today, and I'm excited to share with you the Pretty Package Dies, which creates this great little package that hides a gift card inside. Now I'm starting with the Pretty Package Die. It has the envelope and the little insert and all the dies to make it look like a birthday box. The Skinny Mini Party borders, the Simple Strips birthday and background stamps, the coordinating Simple Strips die. I'm using foam sticky strips and foam sticky circles. The inks that I will be using are Cookie Monster and Blueberry, and Raspberry Sorbet and Peaches and Cream. The cardstocks that I will be using are Raspberry Sorbet, Peaches and Cream, Cookie Monster, Blueberry, Cherry Pop, and Sugar Cube. And I will be doing some ink blending, so I need blender brushes. I need Versamark ink and a powder tool and gold embossing powder. Now I've die cut two of the envelope pieces, one from Peaches and Cream cardstock and the other from Cookie Monster cardstock, and I'm folding on all of the scored lines using a bone folder to make sure I get a good, nice, and sharp crease. And I'm going to do that for both die cut pieces, making sure everything is lined up. And once everything is folded, I'm going to add some adhesive to those inside flaps and then fold this together, making sure that everything is nice and square. So that way when we put our insert piece in, it slides in nice and good. Now the two insert pieces are die cut from Raspberry Sorbet and Blueberry cardstock. And that is the little die piece that's going to cut the notches out for you to slide your gift card into. So I've die cut that out in both of these insert pieces. And now we're going to do some ink blending. In the die set, there are two strips, a large strip and a smaller strip, one for the top of the box and one that would look like the ribbon going up the front of the box. And I'm doing some ink blending with Peaches and Cream and Raspberry Sorbet. I did Peaches and Cream in the center and Raspberry Sorbet on both outside edges, and I'm just blending that till I get a good, nice blend. And I'm going to do the same thing with this piece that looks like the ribbon going up the center of the box. And with dye inks, once they soak into the paper, everything looks beautiful and blended. The next one I'm doing is just for the top of the box, and I'm using Cookie Monster and Blueberry ink. Cookie Monster is in the center and Blueberry is on the outside. I am blending it the exact same way, and once it soaks into the paper, you will have a beautiful blended piece. Now, I am taking a border from the Skinny Mini Party Borders and die cutting that out of Sugar Cube cardstock. And I'm going to take the Versamark ink and ink that up and getting it nice and covered. And then using the gold embossing powder, I'm going to dump that all over this and then just shake off all the excess. And I'm just going to grab that with a pair of tweezers while I heat that up until it's nice and melted. I have a piece of Sugar Cube cardstock in my MISTI, and I am prepping that with a powder tool. I am inking up the Simple Strips birthday and the Simple Strips background with Versamark ink and pressing that down and getting a nice crisp image on my cardstock. I will be using a sentiment from each one of those stamp sets for today's projects. Now I'm going to add the fine detail gold embossing powder, and I'm just going to shake off any excess and heat that through until it is all melted. Once that's done, I'm going to use the coordinating Simple Strips die, and I'm going to line that up with those little squares that you see, and using some low tack tape, I'm going to adhere that down before I run that through my die cut machine, and I'm going to do this for both sentiments that I stamped and heat embossed. Now I've die cut a tag from the Pretty Package Dies in Raspberry Sorbet cardstock, and then here is that border that we die cut and heat embossed from the Skinny Mini Party Borders, and I'm just gluing that to the front of this tag, crisscrossing it and trimming off any of the excess. And I'm going to add some gold string from my stash to this tag. Now let's put together this pretty package. I'm going to take that center piece that goes up the front that looks like the ribbon that would surround the box and just center that in and adhere that down with some glue. And then I'm going to take that other die cut strip that looks like the top of the box and adhere that to the top. Here's that cute little tag with the string, and I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to the end of that string and tuck it inside of this envelope and just hold it down with my tweezers until that dries, and it dries really quick. And because I want some dimension behind this tag, I'm going to use the foam sticky circles. And I'm just going to use 3 of those and place that down, and then we've got some great dimension on the front of this. I also want dimension behind the sentiment strip. So I'm using the foam sticky strips behind the sentiment strip, and I'm going to line that up into the center of this package, this birthday box. Get that nice and centered and adhere that down. Now I'm taking some low tack tape and masking off the top part of this insert and using the Versamark ink and just inking up the bow on top of this insert piece and using some gold embossing powder. And once I've dumped that on there, definitely take off the tape first, and you can see that masked it off nice and beautifully. And I'm taking my heat gun and I'm going front to back, front to back. I want to make sure that I minimize warping of the cardstock. Once that's all melted, just slide this right into the envelope and you've got this great, beautiful little package. Now on to the next one. I have taken the Skinny Mini Party Borders and die cut 3 borders out of cherry pop cardstock, and we're going to adhere the top part of this pretty package, the top box part, and we ink blended this earlier. I'm going to add that to the top, and then we're going to add this fun pop of color with the cherry pop cardstock, and I'm going to glue this down. The first one I'm going to glue nice and even, and then the other ones are kind of going to cascade down the front of this box, and I'm just adhering that with some liquid glue. And then this one also has a tag, and I cut that tag out of blueberry cardstock, and I added the foam sticky strips behind the sentiment for dimension as well. And then I'm going to slide a gift card into that insert piece. It goes in nice and easy, and then this insert piece will slide right into that envelope, and you will have a great little package to give to somebody. Thank you guys so much for watching. You can find all of these products at the Tailored Expressions web store at tailoredexpressions.com.